come together to behold the power of love, the power of light. We come together to behold. We are divine. We come together to behold the power of love, the power of light. We come together to behold. We are divine. Lift up our hands, lift up our hearts, lift up our vision, lift it to the stars, dance in the glory, whirl in the grace, see God in every face, see God in every face. We come together to behold the power of love, the power of light. We come together to behold. We are divine. Lift up our hands, lift up our hearts, lift up our vision, lift it to the stars, dance in the glory, whirl in the grace, see God in every face, see God in every face. We come together to behold the power of love, the power of light. We come together to behold. We are divine. Lift up our hands, lift up our hearts, lift up our vision, lift it to the stars, dance in the glory, whirl in the grace, see God in every face, see God in every face, see God in every face.
Good morning, CSL.
Good morning.
So lovely to see all your happy faces. Welcome in. A few announcements for your day today, but first let's start with thanking Marilyn for our wonderful morning music. It's so nice. As you can see, we have prayers at the candles. So just like Carol is so wonderfully role modeling, if you want to write something on the board, now is the time, okay? Because then we'll pull this up here for Lou to pray on them here in just a moment. So coming up this Wednesday at 7 o'clock, our spiritual practice will be breathing, meditation, and Qigong. Part 2 of Lou's 2-week spring renewal class will start today at 1. Very exciting, part 2. The last Sunday of this month is Prosperity Sunday. So next week we will share our exceptional income and stories and tithes. Have special music with the family band, the Suter family band. Woo! You might have to have a new name, like, so that gets everybody in there, right?
That's what we're just saying, family band.
Family band. Okay.
That can be anyone, right?
Yeah. And wear your CSL t-shirts, so do it next week. Okay. Coming right up, Easter Sunday is April 5th. Our Labyrinth Walk opens at 8 o'clock in the morning. Do you want to say anything about that right now?
Sure. I have just a couple of sentences about labyrinth walking. So that I got in different various places. Labyrinth walking is an ancient practice used by many different faiths for spiritual centering, contemplation, and prayer, quieting the mind. The twists and turns of the labyrinth walk are an image of life, a mirror of the soul, and a symbol of humanity. Labyrinths can be walked not only with feet, but with hands, heart, and minds.
Beautiful. See, you wanted to hear all that. Okay, so Labyrinth is at 8, breakfast potluck is at 9. So join us April 5th. And then our regular Sunday service will begin at 10:30. So it should be quite a bit of fun. And then Spirit in Action Committee has a short meeting today after service. It's the 4th Sunday. So listen to the bell and come up and
I'll whistle.
she'll whistle. All right. I think we're ready to say our vision. We'll take a deep breath together. This center offers a path for awakening to the realization of oneness, open hearts, inspired life, empowered love. Our spiritual community welcomes all people to embrace oneness as the truth of our being. Together, we see a world of love, peace, and abundance for all.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the rush of angel wings. I see glory on each face.
In this moment of quiet peace, I let go of the outside world. And I go deep within to that place of peace, of calm. Please join me in that place as I recognize that there is that only place, the place of spirit, the place of the one presence, the one energy that I call God, universal life force, spirit, divine. So many names and all the same. It is whole, it is perfect, it is complete. It is the creator and the creation. And I am one with this creation. And this spirit, this presence, expresses through me as love, as peace, as beauty, as wisdom, as power, as happiness, as vitality, as all good things, and so much more. For I am the essence of the divine, and that is true for all beings, and that is true for each and every one here today, and each and every prayer request on the board. For we are part of that one life, that we are individualized. We are the fullness of the most magnificent life that is so freely given and is so freely available. And so from this place of deep peace and knowing, I speak these words of truth for Christopher, for Ian, for Tanner, Chris, Annette, Evan, Maria, Mary, Ken, Forrest, Anya, Shannon, Nolan, Marla, John, Diane, Christy, Mary Jo, Clint, Preston, Candy, Todd, Mark, Cody, Lyle, Carrie, CNL, Warren, Cody P., Jennifer Troy, Jessie, Carolyn, Bonnie, Gayla, Deb, unhoused neighbors, our parents, Jason, Terry, Gail, Michael, Adriana, Alicia, Janice, John Lovitz, Linda Smith, Thomas Smith, Margaret, Ben Johnson, Tally and Sarah, Sharon W., Winnie A., and for each one here, for the desires of your heart. For I recognize the truth of each and every one. For I know, I declare that we are all surrounded by unconditional love and infinite wisdom, and that the life of spirit is the life of each one on the prayer list and each one of us. And there is nothing that can hinder the outpouring of God's goodness in our lives now. The divine intelligence and wisdom governs the life situations and lead each of us into right action, right decisions in all of our affairs. We know what to do and how to do it, for the perfection and the wholeness of spirit is guiding and directing us in every area of our life. We meet God in every face and are surrounded by friendships, loving relationships, and harmonious interactions. Divine abundance is present, flowing through us, meeting all needs. There is no place that this presence is not available in each life, flowing into that perfect solution to every seeming problem, that it flows through, expressing through infinite possibilities for the desired outcome. And each and every one is open to that divine intelligence, which is answering our greatest questions, our greatest needs, and leading us back into who we truly are. So this service today is blessed, for each one is giving of themselves in service to the other. We are blessed by the music, the message, the staff. We are blessed by just the light that shines from each and every one of us, reminding us of the magnificence of life and who we truly are. So I am so thankful to know that the divine is right here, right now, guiding, leading, comforting, directing each of us into our greatest yet to be, expressing in our lives in wondrous ways. Grateful that this truth is operating right this moment. So I just release these words into the law, knowing it is already so. The unseen is coming into the visible as we join together and declare, and so it is.
Holy Spirit within, help me to bloom into all that I am. Help me to love the whole of the world. I ask for beauty in myself. I ask for beauty in the world. I ask for beauty in all of humanity. Holy Spirit within, help me to bloom into all that I am. Help me to love the whole of the world.
Happy spring. I see Delta is almost as brilliant with flowers as Grand Junction. So I'd like to remind you, if there's something hindering your enjoyment of spring. We've got something on your mind that's worrisome, something that's giving you a problem in your life. You just want a little bit of spiritual upliftment. Please put your request in the prayer chest just down the stairs to the left, and the practitioner will be doing affirmative prayer on your behalf this week, every day. My quotes for today from Mother Teresa. Go out into the world today and love the people you meet. Let your presence light new light in the hearts of others. And from Eckhart Tolle, whenever you interact with people, don't be there primarily as a function or a role, but as a field of consciousness presence. And from Ernest Holmes, it is quite a burden lifted when we realize that we do not have to move the world. It is going to move anyway.
I've had my share of disappointments. I've seen some bad times. That doesn't mean I'm giving it up. I'm only waiting for my moment. I'm feeling strong now. It won't be long. I'll turn and face the sun. Believe me, I will overcome. And I will rise again. I'll lift up my eyes and then I'll breathe the day. I'll make it mine. I'll make my way. And I will shine again. I'll shine up there with the best of them. So point me to the sky, and I will rise again. I'll keep my smile through this confusion. I'll hold my head up. I've got my dreams keeping me whole. My heart aches only an illusion. I'm pulling through now. I'll start anew. If I have come this far, believe me, I will reach the stars. And I will rise again. I'll lift up my eyes and then I'll breathe the day. I'll make it mine. I'll make my way. And I will shine again. I'll shine up there with the best of them. So point me to the sky. I will rise
so much for that beautiful song. Yes. All right, you guys are a little quiet this morning. There's a lot of you. You should give me a little energy like this. Yeah. Thank you. I can use that. I had kind of a busy week. Arlo came over to visit. So he's my youngest grandchild. He's 6 months old. And so I was up a little in the night with him. He spent the night, not by himself. His mother was there, but I gave her a little break. I laughed now. My mom had 5 kids and 18 grandchildren. And we used to, I didn't think about this then. You know how you think about things differently when you get older? And I have grandchildren, and my kids always want to come like vacation at our house, you know, and spend nights and stuff. And so I was like, oh, okay, we're ready. I remember doing that to my mom and just showing up. I had 5 kids, just showing up without even saying anything. And I would wonder why my mom wouldn't come out of the bedroom. I know now. She was trying to write a message for Sunday, and all of us were there the whole time. It never occurred to me until now in my life. So here's the message. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit. How about that? Oh gosh. Okay, spring is here. Spring has sprung, and I even looked up a few jokes about spring because I thought I was so serious last week, which I was. And I'll probably be serious again because somehow when I get behind this pulpit thing, you know, something just happens. And so I forgot the jokes, and I'm not very good at it. One I know. What falls but doesn't get hurt? Rain. Right? We want rain. That's the only one I remember. Okay. Oh, wait, I have a few written down here. Spring is nature's way of saying, let's party! That's Robin Williams. You're supposed to vision Robin Williams saying that, right? And then, of course, Ralph Waldo Emerson, the earth laughs in flowers. I always like that one. Yeah. Okay, so let's remind ourselves of our 2026 focus for the year, a love revelation. So we want to be keeping that in mind the whole year this year. A revealing of love, looking for and recognizing a revealing of love within ourselves and within the whole world. Looking forward to looking for that. But March, our focus is integration, balance, and harmony. And we also are still in that season for nonviolence, and so our songs are hooked up with that theme. That is the 64 days between the anniversaries of the deaths of Mohandas Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. So, getting back to integration, balance, and harmony. Most of us are seeking more harmony in some area of our life. Can anyone relate to that? Yeah, so, whatever area, relationships, finances, work, health, something within us pulls us toward the desire for more good in our life. There is that divine God spark within every one of us that calls us back home when we get lost and confused. And we feel a pull to live upward. That's like Ruby Nelson had said in her book, Living Upward. And sometimes I've come to realize the time our divine calls us to come home, it comes in a very challenging way. Anybody have challenges show up in your life? Never. So it is in these challenging times in our life that we sometimes end up falling on our knees and begging God to intervene with some kind of wisdom and answers to save us from our challenge. Have you ever done that? Guys, I still do that. You know, I don't know what it is, like a habitual reaction or something, you know, please save me from this. And that old thing, you know, like, I'll pray every single day if you save me just this once. But that never really happens, does it? So I've come to understand and believe that our challenges are meant to grow us. And they can grow us in whatever direction that we choose to focus our energy and our attention on. If we get lost in the misery and the defeat and the pain and the despair of our challenge, then that is what will grow for us, is that misery and pain and defeat. But if we use this opportunity to respond differently to the challenge, like maybe we create a new story of success out of the challenge that's showing up, then our energy will bring that success to life for us by way of our attention to it, paying attention to our successes and what is right rather than our defeats and what is wrong, but using that as the catalyst for deeper spiritual practice. So I'd like to share with you this morning what I think is a path to greater harmony in all areas of our lives. So this is a path of integration, a path of balance and harmony. And I think the path goes something like this. First, we need to empower our ego self, our small self with the small s. We need to empower that so that it is strong enough to surrender to that higher self or that higher presence within us, that deeper God self. So one way to balance and harmony is to integrate our thinking mind and our feeling mind, unifying our mind and our heart, integrating our surface mind and our deeper mind, which we talked a lot about last week, which we'll talk a lot about in classes coming up very quickly. We talk a lot about this integration. To the degree that we can realize our wholeness in the mind of God, to that degree, we will experience God living through us and as us, unique and individual. To the degree that we can realize our wholeness in God, that we are whole because we are in God, to that degree, God will be living through us, individualized, unique. The beautiful, unique person that we are meant to be is our divine spark, our higher God self living through us in a unique and harmonious way. The harmony of God presence is living as me and as you. That God presence. Your higher God self is expressing as the authentic you. And expressing the authentic you is the simplest and most enjoyable, easy thing for you to do and for you to be in the world. It's your natural awesomeness. It's what makes you special. Your own divine stamp. Your innate gifts and talents and skills and abilities and your character and even your idiosyncrasies. Everyone has them, unique to only them. It feels authentic, not fake, to express this higher part of you. It feels fulfilling and not draining, life-affirming with joy and peace, instead of gloom and doom in a fear-based thinking mentality. It feels good in your gut. It feels true in your spirit. To live a life of balance and harmony, we begin by empowering our small ego self so that it can feel safe enough to surrender its control to our higher God self. Throughout our lives, we have taken on beliefs and judgments that belong to others, especially beliefs and judgments about ourselves. And this is our most important relationship ever, our relationship with our ego self and our higher self. So we start right where we are, right now, and we raise our self-image with a small s and a small I. We raise our self-image to our self-image with a capital S and a capital I. According to Ernest Holmes, surrendering to your higher God self involves releasing the desire for personal control and trusting the divine presence within, which is the source of all life, love, and intelligence. And so we can empower our ego to think bigger, to think grander, and more loving thoughts about ourselves and others. We can train our mind to think highly and even think godly in more situations, to think highly and godly of more people in our lives, but most importantly, to think highly and godly of ourselves. We can think upward towards health and wealth and freedom for ourselves and for all of humanity. And as we live upward in our mind, using spiritual practices, we can begin to create improved self-images and deeper self-love. This empowered sense of self, over time, will give us the strength and the faith and the confidence to surrender to that God self within us, the source of all life, all love, and intelligence. That still small voice that quietly waits for us to become aware of it. Always within us, always there, just waiting for our recognition. The voice of divine wisdom, our intuition. So this is when we're challenged then to learn about humility through forgiveness, surrender, and letting go. When we can love ourselves enough that we don't need to cling to love and approval from outside ourselves anymore, then we no longer have the need to be right and in control of everything. And we realize everything we need for our life is within our very being right this minute, right now. All is well right now in God's universe. So loving ourselves at a deeper level helps us to let go of control of our life, where we're better able to surrender to that God presence and let God have its way with us. I invite you to put your hand over your heart. Tell yourself, I love you. I love you. I really love you. All the answers we could ever need are contained in that spark of God within us. And as we bring our ego mind into alignment with the loving presence within us, our light shines brighter and the healing of our false beliefs begin. The old beliefs just simply fall away due to lack of attention and lack of care. Soon our God self has transformed our ego with a small e into our ego with a capital E, our God self coming forth. And our love and care and attention to that God self then expands and it grows in our life. We become aware of more wholeness, more abundance, more peace and joy. It's been there the whole time, but we start to become aware that it's there. So let's look at some differences of living from our ego identity and then our higher self identity. And these ideas that I took come from Rebecca Baker. So our ego self, our small ego self, tends to complain about things. You're very quiet. Tends to see only the mistakes. It tends to be in a scarcity mindset that lives in victim mentality. So totally over here on the ego side, the small self is the tendencies of these. So then on the other side, that higher self or that deeper self, that's grateful and finds joy in each moment. Sees challenges as opportunities and is open to learning. It is an abundance mindset. It takes accountability to create a different reality instead of just complaining about it. Many of us find ourselves torn between these two versions of who we are, the ego self and the higher self. One is reactive, it's critical, it's rooted in fear, and the other is wise and grounded and aligned with growth. And this contrast reveals some powerful truths about the human nature and about the path to our self-awareness. The ego self is shaped by fear, judgment, and attachment to external validation. Boy, I remember so clearly a time in my life I craved that external validation. And we all tend to do that still. I still can find myself doing that, but not nearly as much as I used to want all of my validation from the outside. That ego self thrives in a scarcity mindset, always feeling like there's not enough. Not enough love, not enough success, not enough time, not enough attention. It complains, criticizes, and mostly clings to control. Can anyone relate to clinging to control? When we are functioning from our ego only, we tend to focus on what's wrong instead of what's right. We tend to blame others for our circumstances, and we resist change. In the contrast, the higher self is our inner guide, our authentic voice, and the seat of our deepest wisdom. It encourages gratitude, peace, and presence. The higher self lives in an abundant mindset, not because everything is perfect, but because it trusts that growth and healing are always possible with God. This version of you takes ownership of actions and outcomes, knowing that accountability is the very foundation of our personal evolution. So learning to recognize the difference between ego and higher self is one of the first steps towards meaningful change. Like when we're stuck in traffic, does your mind spiral into anger and blame? Sometimes. Especially if we're in a hurry. That's our ego. When you're faced with criticism or you perceive rejection in some way, do you feel personally attacked? We take things so personally. That again is our ego. But when you pause and you breathe, and you respond with grace, that's your higher self in action. This contrast shows up in relationships, careers, and even in the way that we talk to ourselves. Growing spiritually through higher self-awareness involves noticing these moments and consciously choosing a different response. We stop reacting and we start responding. We stop controlling and we start trusting. True growth comes when we shift from, why is this happening to me, to, what might this be teaching me? This is the essence of accountability versus blame in our personal development. And taking responsibility doesn't mean blaming ourselves. It means that we take back our power. We can't control everything, but we can control our response. That shift is where our transformation can begin. Pema Chodron says, the ego seeks to divide and separate. The spirit seeks to unify and heal. Remember, you are not your ego. You are the awareness behind the ego. So the journey to integrate our ego self with our higher self is ongoing. That's our life. It's always ongoing. It requires patience, courage, and a willingness to grow. But each time we choose love over fear, presence over reaction, or gratitude over resentment, we take one step closer to the life that we are meant to live. And as we become more aware of this synergy between the ego self and the higher self, then we'll start to feel more connected, more grounded, and more empowered. And in that space, we will discover not only who we are, but who we are becoming and who we are really meant to be. So, our practice this week, as we move into this new week, is mindfulness. To become mindfully aware of when we are looking for what is wrong with ourselves, with other people, with our body, with the situation we're in, conditions, circumstances, or events. Catch ourselves looking for what is wrong and course correct by looking for the good instead. There is always something good to see. Boy, my mom drilled that into me. Look for the good and praise it. All you need is one thing. Latch on to the one good thing and praise it. It will expand. And what you think is wrong will dissipate. It will dissolve, but, through lack of attention to it. So when I catch myself focusing on what's wrong, immediately I can stop and I can say, wait a minute, stop, reverse, cancel, right? Cancel that. Because instead I want to say, I see the goodness of spirit everywhere. I see the goodness of spirit everywhere, even here in this situation, even here in this person, in this challenge, in this adventure. So I invite you to say out loud with me right now, I see the goodness of spirit everywhere. Now convince me. I see the goodness of spirit everywhere, because we have to activate that feeling presence within. Otherwise, it's just words. But when you activate that feeling presence within, it becomes alive. It's vital. It's God presence. Turn to your neighbor and say, I see the goodness of spirit in you. I see the goodness of spirit in you. And mean it. So let's turn our attention within for a minute to finish up here today. Within to that cosmic presence of love, that divine spark. comfortable for a minute, relax. Close your eyes if you choose. Breathe naturally. Is there a conflict within you right now? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Maybe it's big, maybe it's small. Is there something unsettling with your soul? Bring it to your mind right now and place it in your heart. Just put it right in your heart space and surround it with the light from that spark of God within you. The very center of your being, your balance point, your spark of God. With that situation placed lovingly and sacredly in your heart space, I invite you to take these words as your own if you choose. I release this situation or this person, this illness or this conflict. I release it to the divine power within me. I am no longer carrying the burden of how this will be solved. I trust in God's plan, which is better than my own plan. I trust God to live my life through me with wisdom, wholeness, and abundance. Right now, I rest in the peace of total surrender. I love who I am, and I love this life I'm living. Thank you, Spirit. So it is, and so I let it be.
You are beautiful. You are wonderful. My heart is open wide to let you in. You are so beautiful. You are so wonderful. And I do love you as you are, my friend. You are beautiful. You are wonderful. My heart is open wide to let you in. You are so beautiful. You are so wonderful. And I do love you as you are, my friend. You are beautiful. You are wonderful. My heart is open wide to let you in. You are so beautiful. You are so wonderful. And I do love you as you are, my friend.
That's awesome, huh?
God, you are every mountain. God, you are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. God, you are every sunrise. God, you are every moon glow. God, you are every star shine, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every springtime. God, you are every snowfall. God, you are every season, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. 'Cause you are the very breath I breathe. And your perfect love created me. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you.
Okay, as the ushers come forth, this is our time to consciously participate in the law of circulation. So if you'll take your gift, your tithe in your hand, and know with me that realizing my life as an abundant expression of Spirit's ever-present flow, I freely accept and share all that Spirit bestows through me. I am more than thankful and appreciative. And our affirmation: the more joy I allow, the more money I generate.
I speak only of love, and only God's voice is heard. I speak only of love, only God's voice is heard. I speak only of love, only God's voice is heard. I speak only of love, only of love, only God's voice is heard. I speak only of love, only God's voice is heard. I speak only of love, only God's voice is heard. I speak only of love, only God's voice is heard. I speak only of love, only of love, and only God's voice is heard.
These shared blessings are gratefully received. They go forth, enhancing our church, our community, and our world, creating a world that works for all. And so it is.
With a grateful heart and a grateful
right? We used to do that. I learned that a long time ago, real early when I was a teenager. We used to do that. Send us some love. I love that, some energy. So, I would like to welcome anyone who is here for the first time. Welcome to CSL. I know we have some refreshments and great conversation going on downstairs. I invite you down for that. If anyone would like to use their debit or credit card for whatever we take dollars here, I can help you in the office do that and remind you about the canister for Christopher Clark, our incarcerated friend. We send him some dollars each month. If you'd like to put a few dollars into the canister, I'll make sure that gets to him. He's also still looking for some letters and correspondence. If you would like to write him a letter, you can also put that in the canister and I'll make sure that gets to him as well. We do have a very short Spirit in Action meeting just to touch base again on that fourth Sunday. So I'll come down, we'll just go into that the room over there and have a short meeting. Food pantry, we're still collecting food for that. Okay, so here's a big announcement. We're starting our 7-week Basic Principles of Science of Mind class. When I came across the day, there was one day that I had, and that was Tuesdays. So we're going to have Tuesday evenings starting April 13th, 7 weeks. It will go through, of course I didn't put the end date here, May 26th, I think is what the end date is, every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8:30. Everyone is welcome to take the class. There is a cost for the class. There's a cost that includes a book, but if you already have a workbook, there's a different cost without the book cost. There is absolutely scholarship dollars available if someone would like to take the class and you feel you need a little help financially. We absolutely have that as well. There's a sign-up sheet over here. I would like to know who is interested. I will need at least 5 people to carry out the class, and if it doesn't happen in the spring, we'll try it again in the fall. Let's see. I want to remind you of Lou's class today. That happens at 1 o'clock. We'll come back up here. Oh, I know one thing I want to be sure and tell you. Do you remember our annual meeting? Who was at the annual meeting? Do you remember the big reveal at the annual meeting? Okay, so let me tell you if you don't know what this is. The Core Council for some years now has been entertaining the idea of finding a new home for CSL, a new building for CSL. And so that's what we brought up at the annual meeting. And we are going to include our membership and our congregation. We're at the very beginning of the conversation of this. And so I have put out a jar in the lobby by the name tags that you can put in questions and comments about our new building project for CSL, as we discussed at the annual meeting. And I would love for you to put your questions and comments in the jar right away so that we can have answers for you at our next meeting. We have a community brainstorming and work session meeting scheduled for Sunday, April 26th. So that's coming up pretty quickly. It will follow the service. We'll go downstairs and we'll have a brainstorming work session. This will be the first meeting. You haven't missed anything yet. But we would love to have some of your questions and comments put into the jar so that I can get answers and have some of those answers for you when the meeting comes. Everyone is welcome. When we have voting, only our members will be able to vote on anything, but of course everyone is welcome to show up to those meetings. And it'll be a lot easier if you write down your questions rather than coming to a core council member, because quite honestly, we don't know. We don't really know what we're doing, and so we're just starting. We're at the beginning, and we'd like to have conversation with the whole of the membership. So please mark April 26th, that Sunday, so you can stay for those work sessions and that brainstorming session. Okay? Okay. All right, sounds good. All right. I think we are up to our monthly contemplation here. Let's all say these together all the way down. Here we go. I welcome today with an open heart and a clear mind. My energy is calm, grounded, and full of purpose. I trust myself to handle whatever this day brings. I choose peace over pressure. And so it is.
I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for